Have you ever felt like you have so much to say, but get stuck the moment you open your mouth? You're not alone. The secret of confident, fluent speakers isn't about having perfect vocabulary or grammar. The real secret is surprisingly simple. And today on Kunzi Podcast English, I'm going to reveal how to turn English from a source of fear into your greatest strength for any conversation. If you've ever felt nervous, hesitant, or froze in front of others, this video is your key to breaking through those barriers. Stay with me, because your journey to finding your true voice starts right now. Today's topic is Think Fast, Speak Smart. Part 1, The Magical Power of Pausing. When silence speaks volumes. Have you ever noticed that the world's greatest speakers aren't those who talk fast, talk a lot, or use complicated words? What draws millions to them isn't the speed or length of their speech. It's the moments when they pause. That timely pause creates rhythm, depth, and a unique power in every word they say. Pausing isn't just a break between sentences. It's a space that gives the listener's brain time to absorb information. It gives the speaker a moment to think, organize their words, and most importantly, it builds confidence in every statement. When you master the pause, you no longer feel pressured to fill every silence with filler words like or like. You start to speak deliberately, with rhythm, and with meaning. In everyday communication, especially in critical moments like interviews, presentations, or meetings, the skill of pausing can be a game changer. Simply learning to hold a silent moment before answering, even just 1 second, lets you take control of the conversation, and people will respect what you say more. That pause doesn't make you seem slow. Instead, it shows calmness, certainty, and trustworthiness. If you want to practice this skill, you don't have to wait for a big stage. You can start right now. Try reading a short paragraph daily, and after every sentence, pause before continuing. At first, it may feel awkward, but after a few days, you'll notice a clear change. Your speech becomes fuller. Listeners' eyes stay on you longer, and most importantly, you'll feel much more confident. Words can make an impact, but it's the silence between them that truly makes people remember you. This is the art of pausing. And when you learn to master it, you hold one of the greatest powers in communication, the ability to control space with your own calm presence. Part 2, Keyword Anchoring. The secret to staying focused and captivating every audience. Have you ever felt like your words were drifting aimlessly across a vast ocean? You start speaking with confidence, but as you continue, your thoughts scatter, your message loses clarity, and your words wander without direction. This happens because your mind lacks a solid anchor. A mental anchor to keep your thoughts steady when pressure rises. Most of us don't lack ideas. What we lack is a way to hold those ideas firmly, turning them into clear, compelling stories that resonate deeply. This is where keyword anchoring becomes your most powerful tool, simple yet transformative. It helps you keep your focus even in the most stressful moments. The method is simple but incredibly effective. Before you speak, quickly identify 3 key words, the foundational pillars, the heart of the message you want to convey. These 3 words become your unwavering companions, guiding every sentence, every idea you express. Imagine you're answering a question about building strong habits. You might choose 3 keywords: consistency, simplicity, and environment. Every sentence, every example you share will revolve around these words. You don't have to memorize every detail. Just hold on to these 3 anchors. and your story naturally becomes clear, compelling, and easy to follow. Why does this work so well? Because when you have keyword anchors, your brain no longer struggles to remember every tiny detail. You're not overwhelmed by pressure or anxiety. You become more confident, your voice steadies, and most importantly, your listeners can easily follow your message and feel your professionalism and clarity. Top leaders, inspiring speakers, and successful CEOs all master keyword anchoring. They don't ramble. They carefully select and emphasize their core words, making their messages stick deeply in the minds of their audiences. And you can do the same. No long scripts, no memorizing every phrase. Just 3 words and a steady mind. Start practicing today. Before every answer, every presentation, take a few seconds to pick your 3 keywords. Then let those words guide you. You'll be amazed at how naturally and confidently your speech flows. This is not just a speaking technique. It's your way to reclaim control of your voice. It's how you build unshakable confidence in every conversation. And this is your first step toward becoming the speaker people truly want to listen to. Part 3, visual thinking. The key to more natural and powerful communication. Here's a truth many overlook. Great communicators don't just think in words. They think in images. In their minds, it's not isolated words, but vivid pictures, full of color, sound, and emotion. These mental images form a solid foundation that allows them to tell stories clearly, captivatingly, and inspiringly. Imagine standing before an audience, and in your mind, you see a vivid movie of the story you want to share. Your words become more than mere language. They become a journey your listeners take with you. You no longer fret over grammar or the perfect vocabulary because you've seen clearly what you want to say inside your head. This frees you from stress and boosts your confidence immensely. The technique of visual thinking is simple yet incredibly powerful. Before speaking, take a moment to imagine the setting, characters, feelings, and even the smallest details of your story. For example, if you're describing a trip, picture the sunlight, the chirping birds, the scent of fresh grass, the feel of the breeze on your skin. Every detail you imagine becomes an anchor that makes your speech flow naturally and vividly. You'll notice the immediate difference. Your words become smoother, richer with emotion, no longer hesitant or strained. Your audience will be captivated because they can see what you see and feel the emotions you convey. Visual thinking builds a bridge between you and your listeners, turning communication into a lively, powerful experience. Moreover, this method reduces stress, especially in high-stakes situations like interviews, presentations, or important meetings. When your mind holds a clear map of images, you no longer struggle to find ideas or worry about going off topic. You simply follow the path you've drawn in your mind, confident, clear, and persuasive. What's remarkable is that all top speakers, leaders, and inspiring figures use this visual thinking method. They transform complex stories into easy-to-understand, memorable, and emotionally rich pictures inside their listeners' minds. You can learn and practice this skill every day to become a more effective communicator. Start today. Whenever you prepare to speak, take a moment to paint a detailed picture in your mind of your story. Let these images guide you, helping you deliver your message naturally, vividly, and powerfully. You'll find communication is no longer a burden, but a joy, a way to connect deeply with those around you. Part 4. Inner breakthrough. You didn't look away from this video. You didn't give up halfway. And that is the most important first step on your journey of transformation. In that moment, you showed persistence, courage to overcome yourself, something not everyone can do. This is not just about learning English, nor just about communication skills. This is a journey of rebuilding yourself from within. You are no longer the person who hesitated or was afraid to speak up. You are no longer the person who felt shy, lost confidence when speaking English. You are transforming, stepping out of your comfort zone, and starting to realize the hidden power inside yourself. Every sentence you speak, every moment you choose to stand up and express your opinion is a breakthrough that breaks down the walls between you and confidence. Inner breakthrough does not happen in a day. It is a process, step by step, building small habits of speaking to yourself in English, telling stories, listening, and learning. Every moment you choose to continue despite fear or awkwardness is a brick that builds a strong foundation for your confidence. Remember, you are not alone on this journey. Everyone learning a language has experienced moments like yours, feeling stuck, discouraged, and sometimes wanting to quit. But those who succeed are the ones who keep moving forward, no matter how difficult the path is. And you have already started on that path. Keep moving forward, because inner breakthrough is the beginning for you to confidently tell your story, to let your voice be heard in this world, strong, clear, and full of inspiration. Part 5. Fear versus voice. The battle inside you. What if I told you the biggest obstacle standing between you and fluency isn't English itself? It's something far more invisible. The fear. Not fear of making mistakes, not fear of grammar, but the fear of judgment, the fear of being laughed at, the fear of sounding wrong. This fear whispers in your ear every time you hesitate, every time you stay silent when you wanted to speak. And what does that silence give you? Nothing but regret. Moments lost, opportunities missed, relationships that never blossomed, doors that remained closed, loneliness that creeps in when your voice stays locked away. You've known that feeling before. The ache of holding back what you truly want to say, of watching others speak while you fade into the background. But here's the secret. That fear is a liar. It pretends to protect you, but it's actually stealing your power. It cages your true voice, the unique story only you can tell. Imagine what would happen if you decided to stop letting fear rule your words. What if you chose right now to break free and let your voice rise? Raw and real? This is your moment. The moment to shed the weight of silence and claim your place. To speak not because your English is perfect, but because your voice deserves to be heard. Imperfect, authentic, powerful. To speak despite trembling hands, racing heart, or faltering words. Because every time you speak, you weaken fear's hold and strengthen your own. Are you ready to silence the fear? To turn your voice into your fiercest ally? The journey isn't easy, but it is worth it. Your voice is waiting. It's time to let it shine. Part 6. Real fluency. What true fluency really means. True fluency is often misunderstood. It's not about speaking rapidly or stuffing your sentences with complex vocabulary. Real fluency is about clarity, precision, and presence. When you speak clearly, people naturally listen. They don't interrupt you or lose focus. Instead, they hang on to every word because your message is delivered with confidence and purpose. Imagine walking into a room where your voice commands respect, not because it's the loudest, but because it's deliberate and meaningful. You no longer feel the pressure to fill every silence with words. You say what matters, and that is enough. This shift, this power of speaking with clarity, makes you instantly more trustworthy, more engaging, and yes, even magnetic. Real fluency transforms everything about how you present yourself. It changes the way you enter a room, the way you hold eye contact, and the way you raise your hand in a meeting. It's not just about language skills. It's about how you carry yourself with quiet confidence, how you project your ideas with certainty, and how you stand firm in your voice, even when the stakes are high. This transformation runs deep inside you. It reshapes your mindset and your identity. When you achieve real fluency, you're no longer the person who shrinks in the background or fears being judged. You become someone who shows up fully, ready to share your unique perspective and ideas with the world. Fluency is no longer just about grammar or vocabulary. It's about being present, being heard, and being understood. It's the confidence that radiates from within and invites others to listen, not because they have to, but because they want to. This is the power of real fluency. This is your new voice, your new presence, your new story. Do you know what really holds us back from speaking out? It's not your English skills, not your grammar or vocabulary. What stops many people from seizing the moment and speaking up is something simpler yet much deeper. Fear. Fear of judgment. Fear of being laughed at. Fear of rejection or making mistakes. Fear that silences you, keeps your valuable thoughts, ideas, and stories locked inside because you're afraid of failure. But here's the truth. Silence and fear have never brought anything good. They only bring regret, loneliness, and missed opportunities slipping through your fingers, never to return. Every time you stay silent, you lose a moment, a bridge to the world outside. And you're not alone. Everyone feels fear. But successful people, those who truly grow and make a difference, are the ones who dare to speak up, to express themselves, to step beyond their fears. Now I want you to understand one vital thing. You don't need to wait until your English is perfect. You don't need to wait until you have enough vocabulary or flawless grammar to speak correctly. And most importantly, you don't need anyone's permission to start using your voice. You have the right to speak up right now. The first step is to let go of fake perfection and focus on real progress. Progress doesn't come from avoiding mistakes, but from constant trying, practicing, learning, and rising every time you fall. Every day you spend 5 minutes speaking English. Every time you choose to speak instead of staying silent, you're building a powerful muscle, the muscle of confidence and communication. Your voice, your thoughts, and you yourself are sharpening and growing stronger day by day. You know what? Fluent speakers weren't born that way. They too once hesitated, stumbled, feared making mistakes, and repeated simple phrases over and over. But their biggest difference was that they embraced imperfection, accepted mistakes as part of the journey, and persisted beyond fear. Here's the secret. You don't have to be the loudest, the fastest talker, or have the most beautiful voice. True power lies in the fact that you dare to speak, to share, to connect with your voice and your story. When you start believing in yourself, you'll notice others listen to you with respect and attention. The changes you will feel are not just about how you speak English, but about how you enter every room in life. You will lift your head higher, look others in the eye with firm confidence. You will no longer hesitate to voice your opinions in meetings or stand up to share in discussions. You will feel a new energy inside you, an inner strength you never knew existed. Remember, This is not a short-term journey, but a long-term process. Like training for a sport, you can't become a pro overnight. But if you persist, step by step, day by day, you will see real changes. That's when you realize you have become the best version of yourself. Don't forget, progress is never a straight line. Some days you will feel frustrated and disappointed. Sometimes you'll forget words, stammer, or fail to express your thoughts. But those challenges make you stronger. Every obstacle you overcome builds a stronger foundation for your future. And here's the final thing I want you to remember. This was never just about English. It was about you. You're not just learning a new language. You're learning to respect yourself, recognize your own value, and dare to show up in the world. You're gradually opening doors to new opportunities, new relationships, and a freer, fuller life. Think of every word you speak not just as communication, but as a declaration of who you are. Someone who dares to stand up, to share, to step into the light, even when afraid. Speak when you're tired, when you're trembling, when you forget words, when you feel unsure. Speak anyway, because fluency doesn't come from silence, but from relentless effort. You've come this far, and I believe you can do it. Start today. One sentence, one challenge, one moment at a time that you dare to speak out. Gradually, fear will give way to strength. Silence will give way to your story. And soon enough, you'll look back and say, that day I started. I was no longer afraid. And when you do that, the world will hear you. The world will know you. And most importantly, you will see yourself in a way you never imagined. Now, speak up. Speak anyway. Let your voice become a source of inspiration, not just for yourself, but for everyone listening. Life lesson and final call to action. Kunzi Podcast English for everyone. Life isn't about waiting for the perfect moment. It's about seizing the moment you have and making it perfect through your actions. Your voice, your story, your growth all begin with one simple step. Speaking up. Every time you overcome your fear and speak out, you build a stronger, more confident version of yourself. At Kunzi Podcast English, we believe every voice deserves to be heard. This journey isn't just about mastering English. It's about empowering you to express your true self with clarity and confidence. Remember, progress is more important than perfection. So keep speaking, keep growing, and never stop believing in your potential. If you found value in this episode, please like, share, and subscribe to Kunzi Podcast English. Your support helps us create more inspiring content to help you on your English learning and personal growth journey. Together, let's speak up and shine brighter every day.